people feel like life's a competition. And when you've won so much, you lose that sense of competition and it doesn't matter to you who wins anymore.
Ooh.
Because you've won so much already that when other people have not won, they're still competing and you've already won.
Yo.
So like
that's the realest shit I ever heard.
Yes.
I'm gonna record. Can that be my new affirmation? Because
yeah, say it again for those tuning in.
So
never too shy, ladies' night. I guess it's ladies' night in here.
Ladies' night again. Our second version.
Yes, welcome to another episode. Yes, ladies' night part 2. I'm Paulina.
I'm Tati.
And producer Marco's here.
Well,
he'll never be on camera though. You won't catch him slipping on camera, but that's okay. That's
Dude,
okay.
I literally after like an episode way back when, somebody was like, I need Marco on camera.
Yes.
I need Marco on camera because you got fans.
I got fans?
Yes, you got
People
fans.
are like, we need Marco on camera. He tells it like it is. We need more of his perspective.
Yes.
You gotta pay for that, sorry.
Oh. What he meant to say was
subscribe.
Run them checks.
Yes, like and subscribe. I love it. Well, we are here. It is ladies' night. We're missing our beautiful, lovely Nestor, but that is okay because with 3 people, sometimes they don't be 3 people, but that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. We got this, okay?
We got enough personality to
definitely do. We definitely do. We definitely do. We miss him, but we definitely do.
Yeah.
So today, I'm thinking we are going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to do friendships, but in your 30s edition. Mm-hmm. I think that's really interesting because I truly feel like anybody in their 30s or any really age would know that as, time progresses, as we get older, as life happens, I think that affects our friendships, right? And it could be in a positive way, or it could be seen as a potential negative, or just different, right? Than like what you're used to. So I found this really interesting thing on Instagram. I think we're going to talk about it. We're going to dive into it about friendships in your 30s and kind of what that looks like, and things we find surprising in our 30s, because we're all, I think, in our upper 30s.
Yeah.
We're on the first floor.
I'm on the first floor.
First floor, yeah.
We kicking it. We ain't up there though. We just got to the 3rd floor not too long ago.
We did. We got to the 3rd floor.
We're not far up.
Exactly. So we'll talk about that, and then we'll do another edition. Am I the pendeja for this? Am I the pendeja? Which I think is so interesting because I love a good debate. You know me. Yeah. I'll debate this ass off. So
especially when you're forced to argue a point you normally wouldn't.
Yes. I think it's so interesting. I remember in college, I had like a professor do that, and it felt so uncomfy because you're arguing a point that you don't want to argue.
Exactly.
You don't believe it. But it's good. It's very interesting to try, I guess, right? To change your mindset, maybe come up with a thought that may not come to you at first. I don't know. It's very interesting. So we'll start with affirmations. You want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. My affirmation is you is tired and it is okay.
Yes.
Just listen to your body. I am exhausted, like so exhausted from work, from all the things. And so I'm going to take it easy and just rest.
Just rest.
Ish.
But the thing about you, a couple things about you. You
tell me about myself, girl.
You thrive, right? You thrive on this, but I do too. I get told that all the time. They're like, you will say, and I be tired, yes, but like I do secretly thrive off of it.
No, I rather be tired because I'm doing so much and so much like productive, like amazing things.
Yeah.
Versus the feeling of like being bored.
Totally.
Like I don't think I have enough time to feel bored.
You're not a bored person. You don't have time to.
I don't have time to be bored. When can I be bored? I'm always doing something.
You're the one person on my Instagram or just on any social media like platform that I'll go to and I'll look at your story and you're always doing something. Even if you're in bed, like you're doing something.
Facts. Yeah. There's a quote. I think a teacher told me this many, many, many years ago, that there's no such thing as being bored. It's only boring people. Like you're not bored. You're just boring.
You're just boring. I think that's facts. I could see that.
It's like you control how you use your time.
Yeah.
That's facts.
So if you don't use it, you're going to be bored.
Yeah, that's why I can never stay home. Like Lucy, when I got COVID last year or 2 years ago, whenever the fuck COVID happened, I would literally drive around my car and like look at things because I just couldn't stay home. She's like, you have to stay at home and rest. I'm like, I can't. I need to do something.
Right.
I'll go fucking crazy. So
talking to the birds. Hey.
I know. No, I remember. Yeah, my COVID phase was the hardest. I think just
same.
staying home,
Fucking horrible.
Me
and
too.
then on top of that, having COVID sucked. So like
Yep.
you're sick, you're home, and you're isolated from the world.
The worst.
It was hard.
That's when I realized. If you talk about love languages, like I always knew my number one love language was quality time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And physical touch is not one of my top ones, but it was during that time that like I just wanted a hug. I just wanted like
To touch people.
to touch people, and I couldn't. And so I realized like
With consent.
Well, yeah, with consent.
Yes.
And I realized that was actually important to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure. And the other thing I wanted to say really quick about you is besides that, like you thrive off of this, you also don't say no unless you really, really have to, I
No,
feel,
right.
because you're like, okay, I'm booked. I can't do this. But you also don't like canceling on people.
No.
I'm a cancel queen. If I'm in the house, bra
I
comes
was
off.
the canceled queen, but you're a canceled
Yes,
queen.
I'm not the canceled
Yeah.
queen, just a canceled queen.
Yeah.
But I will cancel plans if I have
Yeah.
to or if I want to because like, oh, I'm like, I don't feel like going back downtown. Like
Yeah.
I'm home, it's whatever. I'm taking the bra off. Like it's over. I secretly thrive though too on when people cancel
Cancel
on me.
plans.
And I'm like not the first one to do it. They do
Yeah.
it to me, but I secretly wanted to do it the whole time. And I'm like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
No,
You
I
hate
feel
that.
terrible canceling because I hate when people cancel on me. Unless it was, and this is going to sound bad, but like if I really didn't care, then I wouldn't mind.
Right.
But if I cared, I'm mad. Don't cancel on me
Do not cancel on
because I
Tati.
move my schedule around to make it
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
for people.
Yeah.
I'm not easy. You got to make appointments to like see me and hang out with me. It's not that easy.
No, it's not. That's facts. I mean, you do
Yeah.
like 100,000 things, so no.
Yeah. And that kind of goes into like our topic for today.
Yes.
Like I feel like in this big age of 31, you have to literally schedule out appointments to like have time with your friends. So that's one, you have to have friends that understand that and that are okay with that. And also kind of around in my opinion, like have their own thing going too. So it's like understandable. Like, oh, you're busy, I'm busy. We're going to make Wednesday next week work.
Yeah.
Because if you have a friend that's like
Not on shit.
not on shit,
It's like that to be mean, but not on shit.
yeah, then you always look like the asshole.
Facts.
So it's like you need somebody to kind of understand and respect it.
That's facts. That brings me to something really interesting. My best friend and I had this. Obviously, I don't smoke, especially not right now. I definitely ain't smoking. But I swear to God, I had a high thought sober, thought sober. But we were talking about a situation that my friend is having, and I forgot. He said something, and then I was like, "Wait, this is like a high thought." But like, I forgot how it went, and I really wish I fucking wrote this down. But basically, it's just like. We're talking about a specific person, right, that he's friends with, and we're like, wait, and then I'm like, is it because, like, okay, me and my best friend, right, Jonathan, we have nothing in common in the terms of like our hobbies, our interests, our jobs. Like if you were to like put a chart next to each other, we have nothing in common. Okay. Like I do radio, he does marketing. I mean, I guess like, yes, we both work. That's the common part. But like he does corporate life, right? I'm obviously not like exactly corporate. Like I'm not 9 to 5. You know, this and that. And like his hobbies are like design, architecture, like he loves like that kind of shit, right? He loves just all of that. I mean, he's pretty fit, like all these things. He loves to run and work out every Saturday. And then there's me, and like I have like none of those I like. You know what I mean? Like I'll do the workout, but like I don't
Right.
like it.
Yeah.
And like he likes to do like a lot of certain things. Like me, we're just different in that sense. And yet we still are best friends, and
Yeah.
we still find some form of common ground. But then I had this high thought that wasn't high, and I was like, it's not even common ground. I think we just thrive because we're both hustlers in our own lane.
Absolutely.
And this person that he's friends with doesn't really have a hobby or hobbies or something like that. I guess like he does, like that he does. I don't even know like what his job is, to be honest. If he even has a job, I don't know. This friend that we're talking about for him. And I was like, wait. And I'm like, thinking about it, it's like, do you even at this big age have to have common ground? I honestly don't think so. I don't think you have to have common ground. Like you're a teacher, right?
Yeah.
And like I guess we have this in common, right? But like we love the podcast space, but like I feel like okay, we don't we're not like we're
No.
not both teachers, and
For
I'm sure you
sure.
have your teacher friends, which
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
is like you guys relate on that level. I have my work friends who do radio, but I still think it's like we don't go towards that.
Yeah, but even then, like Jackie, like my work wife, BFF, partner in crime, teacher friend. If you take away the teacher and the extraness, like we don't have much in common except we're really loud and
Okay.
slightly codependent on our families. But like that's it. Like
Yeah.
our lifestyles are very different. She's very different. So yeah, I get what you said, but also I forgot you still didn't do your affirmation before we.
Oh,
Okay. As you're talking, I was like, oh crap, Paulina didn't do her affirmation.
I think my affirmation will be a word, and it's going to be visualization. I think that's like something that I'm really big on. Obviously, we talked about back in December, we talked about vision boards and like preparing and everything. So like I try to still kind of look at my vision board. I mean, I literally have it like posted up, and we did a whole episode on it. So if you want to go back and listen, you can. It's never too late to start on it, or
Never too late.
if you want to redo your vision board, go ahead. We gave all the tips and tricks in our previous episodes, but basically I think visualization is just so important to visualize like the things that you want, that you love. And I think that's kind of like where I'm at right now, because like things on my vision board have happened or are happening. And I'm like, damn, this is specific. So like, I just really love that, I'm able to kind of create a life that I want based like on the work that I'm putting behind it, but the visualization that's kind of like the front of it all, right? Kind of like how it starts for me. At least I visualize an idea. Like this podcast, I have an idea, right? Me and Marco talked about it for years. Like we had this idea. So like to bring it to life, I think is like kind of like the next step when you after you visualize. So I think that's where I'm at.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that for you.
Thank you. Producer Marco.
What about it?
affirmation?
Affirmation. You can't save everyone. So today I went to a meeting that I had with some people that I know, and they're in a situation, and I try to help them and gave them lots of solutions, lots of things to take them out of their situation. And they're refusing to listen to the advice because it doesn't fit their own internal narrative.
Really?
And so like at
That's
that
why
point,
they're in a situation.
that's why they're in the situation. So at that point I was like, all right, bro, like you can go die. Like, I don't care. Like I'm done. Like it's over with. My time is very limited. I don't charge for my time, contrary to what I just said earlier today, but I was helping them with an issue they had, and they were just like pulling out excuses and not understanding, and they were in their situation because like Tati said, because of how they are.
Yeah.
And, they didn't want to accept the truth. So fuck it. You're going to drown on your own. So just know you can't save everyone. Sometimes you got to let people drown for your own mental health.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Here.
Yes, you did. Yeah, it sucks because like you can't be Captain Save a Ho. You can't save everybody. You can't.
save a-
I think as a recovering people pleaser, that was one of my big things. It's like I want to help everybody. I want to save everybody. And now it's like I gotta save myself, homie, first. Like that's just how I feel. I only have energy for one. And like I'm always going to be that person that'll help and that'll come, right? When
Yeah.
someone looks for me to help. Never gonna say no. But like, what's the point if you're not gonna fucking listen?
Yeah, I think it's tough for me. It's just like, what the fuck? Why do I have to come? Sorry to swear so much. Why do I have to make time out of my day to come and help you?
And
And
you're
then
not
for you to just be
even-
like, oh, no. Like, that's not a solution. It's like, bro, you asked for my help.
Right.
Like, why am I coming out here? You asked for me to come and help you. So it's just like, all right, whatever.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. But hey, you live and you learn.
Brush it off.
Yeah. And that's why it's like, I've never been a people pleaser. So I've always just been kind
Must
of
be
like,
nice. Must be nice. Be
I was
really
hoping like,
nice.
if you're not going to listen, then like, you're going to drown on your own. So,
That's
you know,
fine.
I was like, all right, well, good luck to you, and I hope everything turns out well. And that's it. Just move on. What are you going to do? But that's me.
That's facts.
All right. What next?
Not mad at that. Okay, so we're gonna back to
Back to
our
our friendship.
30s. Yes, friendship in your 30s. Do you have that post, producer Marco?
Let's see
Do you want me
what
to
I
pull
got.
it up?
I got the. All right. So 6 surprising things I have learned about my friendship in my 30s.
Interesting.
Number 1, friendships are meant to grow and evolve and be dynamic. So friends that were once my closest people in my 20s gradually shifted into different relationships in my 30s. I learned to accept that this is a normal part of growing up and nothing to feel shame or weird about.
I had such a hard time with this.
Really? Oh, wow.
This reminds me of a video I saw of Tyler Perry. I don't know if you saw this.
No.
But he was talking about how friends think about him like a tree. So
Okay,
I
that's
love
cool.
this metaphor. And I literally just saw this. So it reminds me so much of that. So he said you have your leaves, right? And leaves easily, like it doesn't take much, they fall off, right? Seasons change and then the leaves fall off. So those are the friends that are like, they're great. They're there when they need to be there. But then when seasons change, they just, the relationship isn't strong enough. They just go off. And it's not a bad thing. It's just they had their season and then they move on, you move on. Then you have your branches, a little bit more sturdier than the leaves. But eventually, branches also break, but they're there longer,
Okay.
Okay.
right? So it's a little tougher to break the branches.
Gotcha.
But eventually, branches do break. And then you have your roots.
Yeah.
The roots of the tree. Those are the ones that are not visible, right? But like the roots are the foundation. Like they don't go anywhere. And so those are those friendships that there's not many of those, but they thrive and they are the ones that stick around and they're rooted in like who you are, how you view the world and how they influence you in like a positive way and how you grow with them. So I really like that metaphor because at 30, I think I'm okay with getting rid of all the leaves and watching the branches fall
Damn. So
because I
watching.
have the roots. Yeah.
Do you still have friends that are from your 20s or even teens?
Oh yeah, I have friends from my 20s.
Your teens? Wow.
I would say from like high school, one of them, she's still like one who I called my best friend. We're not obviously as close, but she's somebody I remain in touch with. And like we just had dinner last week. So she's somebody that like we try our best to meet up. We both put in effort, but it's not, we don't see each other often. But we're still in each other's lives from like a distance. Cause she's busy, I'm busy, but we make an effort. But like other friends, no, not really. Like if I see them in passing, hi, how are you?
course,
But
yeah.
it's never the same, no. And then Carlos, obviously, you know, like
Yeah.
we've been like this since I was younger, and that's still
Oh, you grew up together?
pretty much, yeah. We went to see Lil Wayne. We went to see Lil Wayne
You
during
did.
the Jingle Ball, and that was very nostalgic because he took me to see Lil Wayne for the first time in like 2008, and then we went again together in 2013, and then I think again another time, and then we saw him 2023.
Yeah.
So it's very nostalgic, even to our own friendship. So like he's one of the roots. And I think a part of the roots that stands out are like, these are not the people you see often.
Right.
But yeah, I would say like Fiamma, my best friend, like we met freshman year of college.
Okay.
But we were always cool, but we actually didn't get close until later in life.
Yeah, that happens. That's
So,
interesting.
Yeah, but definitely quality over quantity at this big age
Oh,
of
at
30.
this big age, for sure. That's interesting because I think for me, I have friends from my closest friends are grammar school or whatever you call it, elementary school. I don't know what you guys call it. From grammar school, high school, not really from college. I really didn't even make friends. That sounds bad. I made friends in college, but I didn't make close friends in college. If that makes sense. Like you said, I have my acquaintances from college. We're Instagram friends. It's a hi and bye thing, but I never really got close to anybody from college. And then my work, I think I got close with like 2 people.
Yeah.
Or three of them. So like I got like best friend status with them, and it's very interesting because they're different seasons, like different life, but like I still am like very close with everybody. So I think that's like really important to me. But yes, I agree with the quality over quantity. Like I couldn't care less if it was like 2, as long as they're fucking solid.
Yeah.
Like I am happy with that. But back then I would have wanted quantity. I would have wanted quantity. Because I was like, oh, I need like 100 different friends.
Yeah.
Like I must have this, you know? So it's interesting. What about you, producer Marco?
Yeah, I don't think. Well, I had a question about you and a thought real quick. Do you think that you still have like those friends from grammar school and high school because you still live in the same general area?
No, because I lived in another area in Chicago with that person, with Jonathan. Like he's my best friend from grammar school. We met in first grade. But like we also took breaks. Like in high school, he went to a whole different high school. I went to a different high school. we were like, again, Facebook, whatever was out that time, friends, MySpace friends. He was a neighborhood friend, but I didn't hang out with the neighborhood kids anymore.
Okay.
And then he went to a school downtown, Jones. So like he had his group of friends, which he's still friends with. And then in college, we didn't talk. It was just Facebook, Instagram talk. Like we did not speak.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he went to school in California for
nice.
college, and I went to school at UIC in Chicago. So had nothing really. And then I moved to LA after that. He moved back home already by that point. Didn't really talk until I moved back home. And then I saw him out at a bar or something. And we just started talking again. And then we were roommates. We moved out of the neighborhood. But then I moved right back to the neighborhood because I'm like, this is where I want to be. This is my happy space. I like it here.
Yeah, I only asked because like I moved around a lot as a kid. So I never really had like a neighborhood group of friends. Which is what I want for like my kids now. That's what we talk about.
Oh.
Yeah, because like it's like we moved houses a lot. Not because of work or anything, but just because like they wanted another house. So I'd go from like here to here and here, and it was always I never had like a core group of friends. But yeah, no, the majority of my friends now, I think I have like 3 friends, and like that's by design for me. A lot of people like I met in high school. I went to high school on a South Side like high school, an all boys school. And I do not talk to a single person from that school. Like, not a single. I don't even think I'm Facebook friends with them anymore. I don't think I'm Instagram friends with them anymore. But it's funny because now throughout the years, like, they've reached out to me through various memes, like sliding and like sending me DMs or anything else to try to be like my friend, kind of.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm just kind of like, nah, bro, I'm good.
Yeah,
yeah. And then like for college, like one of my close friends, I've like a close friend who he comes to like my birthdays and he comes to everything else and like we talk and but he was also my roommate, and so we had like a lot of like time where we would like talk late at night and have discussions about life and everything else.
Oh, yeah.
So like he's my close friend, and then I have another friend who he was a fraternity brother of mine who we were in the same pledge class, and like we've kept in contact through politics and like talking about that, and we get together every so often, and so like that's close. And then like my best friend is my cousin, who's I've known my whole life, and now that side that is another person I met in my early 20s, and we actually met through Lucy, and he was a husband or boyfriend at the time of Lucy's best friend at the time, and then we started hanging out, and then we became better friends, and they became friends, and so we were better friends than they were. So it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
But that's how I have. But yeah, no, I haven't. I don't know. I don't feel like it's weird to have friends. I just have always been very like not having a lot of friends. So now at the older I get and the more times like people will see me or do things, like I had something was written about me years ago, and like at that point like everybody wanted to be my friend. Everyone like reached out to me from like high school and college and everything else, and so I was like, nah, I'm good, bro. Like that's fine. Yeah. So that's why I just kind of keep my small group of friends, and that's it.
When you both talk,
Yeah.
I guess this is always on the podcast. I feel like a ping pong table.
Going back and forth?
No, because when Paulina said something, it reminded me of something. And then you said something, it reminded me of something else. So I'm like, oh, wait, which one do I want to talk about first? Because you both brought up good points. I want to talk about your point first.
Go.
Okay.
You said something about like you guys took a break.
Yes.
I think that's important to talk about or even acknowledge. Like, you know how people say in like relationships we're taking a break? Well, it's not the same thing. Let me preface that. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
But I do think like there's times in your life, whether it's like a prime example, like college, right? Like one person goes off to college, the other person maybe stays home and doesn't like go anywhere far, which I think is the case with like the girl I was talking about who I went to high school with.
Yeah.
I think college is where we both found like new friends or like different spaces based on our interests. She got into a sorority. So she was like into the sister sorority thing.
Gotcha.
And then I got into the dance scene more. So a lot of the people I spent a lot of time with were in the dance scene. And so like our interests were different and she was further away. So that's when we grew apart. But it wasn't until she finished college, got into her career, I was in my career, we're both back in the city after she traveled a bit, then we got closer again. It's like we took that break from one another.
I get that, yep.
And then we were able to come back and just like enjoy each other's company again. And like, I feel like we relearn about each other.
Yeah.
Like when her and I get together, it's like, it's very nostalgic because we'll talk about old times, but then it's like, I learn new stuff about her, and she
Yes.
learns new stuff about me, and we share like what we're going through in life, and it's really beautiful because you compare that to like, you know, your friends who you see all the time, talk to all the time, where they could read you your whole life, like they could talk for me, but it's refreshing.
Totally agree with that.
And I think that's because of that break.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
You know?
No, nothing wrong with it at all.
And sometimes it could be not even a bad thing, but sometimes you just need a break from people sometimes.
Oh, you know how I feel
like
about that.
I love
Yeah.
you to yeah. Like I love you to death,
Yeah.
but let's just like for the sake of our friendship,
100% agree with
let's
that.
take a little break.
I do love a breaky break.
All
What's
right.
number 2 for us?
Number 2, sorry. Some friends will be able to support you through big life changes, while others won't have the necessary tools to do so. This doesn't make them bad people. It actually does. But it does mean you get to choose who to confide in and share parts of yourself with. This is something you should talk about.
I was about to say, I think one person here could relate to this more, and it's not me.
That is so interesting. Yeah, I have a really hard time with this because my friends, no matter what you do, whether it's because your accomplishments can be different than mine, right? Or your goals, like, you know what I mean? And this is a little bit, what's what I'm looking for? Contradictory, whatever.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know what the fuck word I'm looking for, but what I'm about to say can be I might get dragged for this, but it's like I don't think that like getting married, having a baby, I guess those two things are the ones I'm referring to are everybody's goals in life. I don't like, and I'm a believer of celebrating everything that you've done and you're going to do. Like your win is my win. If that means getting out of a toxic relationship, if that means purchasing a home, if that means, I don't know, you finished writing your book, if that, like, I literally don't care. You did a fucking sit up, like, and you couldn't do a sit up before. Like, I'm genuinely happy for you because I know that's a goal that you just crushed, right? Because you really wanted this. And like I said, I don't think that, and I hate that in society, we only support like, or throw big, you know, hurrahs for like, the pregnancy announcements or the pregnancy of the baby. And I love it because I'm experiencing that and I experienced it. But it's like, I don't think that's also, like I said, everybody's goal, right?
Yeah.
Especially like maybe in this time in their life or ever. And that's 100% okay. I will celebrate my friend deciding to get her, would it be tubes, I guess? I'm making
Tubes
this up. Tubes tied or getting something removed or whatever, her husband getting snipped because they don't want that. And they've made that choice together. Like we will never want that. I love and support that because it's your life type thing. So that's my opinion on that. But I also feel like I don't understand when people cannot be happy for someone. Like I asked one of my friends about like a coworker of mine, and I was just like, do you think this person's genuinely happy for me? And my best friend goes,
Nope.
I don't think she knows how to be happy for others. And that had me thinking for like 2 weeks, like about it. And I was like, damn, like, well, when my coworkers do anything, I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm bouncing off the walls. But it's interesting because I can feel, maybe I'm just too aware of my surroundings and I'm too alert. But like I can genuinely tell when somebody's happy for me and when they're not. And that goes for anyone else really. Like, okay, I can tell when they're happy for like my friend or whatever. Because I feel like when you're just happy for someone, like, I don't know if it's the energy, you can just feel it. But some people make it so fucking obvious by just throwing in like comments and jabs. And it's like, you're clearly not happy for me. Like, can you be any more obvious?
Right.
And I feel like that's so ugly and so rude. So I have a really hard time with that because I think the way that that's phrased and what you read, Marco, was very, it was written really well because it's like some people just don't have the capacity to be happy for you. And I truly do believe that comes from the internal of their own shit. They
Their own
are not happy
experiences. Yep.
with their own stuff.
They're just
When have
miserable people.
You said what?
They're just miserable people.
When have you ever, like, answer me this. When I was like a happy, genuinely, like, successful, happy person shit on somebody. Like,
Right. No.
I've
yeah.
never seen that. And maybe I'm just fucking blind, but I've never seen that, you know? And it's
No, you're right.
interesting. It's always like the people, like, it's just so weird. Like, I know one person who will, like, I'll bring up anything and it's like you have something negative to say about, like, my fucking mortgage lender. And I'm just like, bro, what? Like, where do you even come up with this? Like, you didn't even talk to this person because you had one experience with them. Like, and it was nothing to do with mortgages, but it's like, yes, just because you don't like this person because
Yeah.
of whatever reason, like, And honestly, too, sometimes like I remember my mom told me when I was little, I think we got it from like Bambi or something, the movie. And it's like, you have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. And as simple as that is, it's like so fucking true.
But even sometimes you could not say anything, but it's on their face. Like, it's killing them.
It's the energy,
It's
right?
the energy. This reminds me, I don't know why, when I was younger, I was like really young, but I remember we were in the kitchen looking at like wedding photos from a family party or something.
Oh.
And somebody complimented my mom's ring. Like, oh my God, your ring is gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And the person who was listening was like, oh, people overdo it with these rings. Like,
Oh
it's
my God.
like, nobody was talking to that person to begin with, right? And she was like,
That's my favorite too.
yeah.
Right. When
She's
they
like,
chime in.
oh, all of these over the top rings, sometimes like it's not about how the rings look. Sometimes like it's just, just something sweet and simple. And then
I hate it.
everybody was looking like, girl. And then like somebody was complimenting how like my mom and I looked because they were looking at the pictures. And then that person came in, oh, did you see the hair on this person? And we're like, girl, I remember I was like 7 and I was even like, why you hating on my mama, sis? Jeez.
That
But
is
I think
so
that's a great
easy.
example of like, they just can't let you have that moment. This person went from across the room to say, oh, like, it's not important about gaudy rings. First of all, my mom's ring's not gaudy. It's a badass ring. Say
Yeah,
that.
talk your
But anyway,
shit. Talk your
but
shit.
yeah, I was 7 and I remember
Even
I
you
was
picked
like,
up on that.
it's like, girl, sis, it's not cute.
Yeah, I think that those people are just like miserable. Like in that situation with your mom, right? Like this woman's trying to convince herself that maybe her own ring that she got from someone is okay because it's not what she wanted.
Who are you trying to convince? Like me or you? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Exactly. But then like,
Girl.
and she's trying to say, oh yeah, like it doesn't matter because she didn't get what she wanted. And I've always say this, like, and I had this conversation with someone recently where it's like, life, people feel like life's a competition. And when you've won so much, you lose that sense of competition and it doesn't matter to you who wins anymore.
Ooh.
Because you've won so much already that when other people have not won, they're still competing and you've already won.
Yo.
So like,
That's the realest shit I ever heard.
Yes.
I'm gonna record. Can that be my new affirmation? Because
Yeah, say it again for those
say
tuning
it
in.
again.
so life's a competition. And when you've won so much, the competition's over. So those people who haven't won are still competing against you, even though you've already won. And so like,
So real.
and like in my eyes, the way that I see it is like, yeah, like when you've won so much, when you've worked so hard and your work has paid off and you've had all the success, right? And other people look at you, they think, oh, well, I have to compete. And it's like, it's not really about that. Like for me personally, like I've always had it where people have felt, and this is people from friends and even closer, have always felt like they've needed to compete or be at my quote unquote level. And for me, like I've never once thought about that. Like when I have something like super successful in my life and it's something that like I personally can attribute to it, I never think, oh, like, yay for me. I always think, how does this help me like with my friends and family? So like if I want like a bigger house, right? My first thought is, will this house fit all of my friends and family? It's not, I want a big house to show off to all my friends and family. It's to be inclusive with your winnings. And I think that like that's the mindset that I have. And a lot of people,
You got to be a red aura. Now that I'm looking at it, it's a red aura thing. Sorry, I'm just thinking of your personality. It's a red aura thing. Because what you just said reminds me of my husband. He says the same thing. He goes, I want to fit my friends and family. Me, I want to fit myself.
yeah.
Like, do I fit in here? Because like, hello, I need to fit. But like, he thinks like that. It must be a red aura thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm red or green, but
I think you're both.
I am.
I think so.
I like
we'll talk
green.
about that another day.
Yeah, green because of money. But
Mood.
I heard I was yellow.
I do think you're yellow.
but yeah, so I
teacher.
think in like your case, I've seen it. Like I told you, like hey, like whenever I see it, I tell you because
You have, yeah.
it's
you both have.
it's kind of like it's so stupid in my opinion because you're the one person that I know a lot who like has done a lot who doesn't brag. Like you don't ever like brag or build yourself up or anything else.
Yeah.
And so for people to like feel that way towards you, I'm just kind of like, bro, like who are you trying to impress or compete with or what? Like doesn't matter. Doesn't make sense to me.
No, same. I'm trying to get better at that. Like when people do try to do this like weird competition thing. I'll tell you guys something off the air, but yeah, I got I think the weirdest experience in my life a couple weeks ago where I was just like, this is a new fucking level of competition, or I don't know what the fuck this is. But yeah, I know what happens, and that makes me really sad because it like exactly like I feel like everyone here, like we genuinely just want to be happy for those around us. Like I literally can't think of one time when I hated. The only time I've talked about this on the radio too before at work, and I think it's a really interesting topic. We have to talk about it one day, is like being happy for others. Like, let's just say, I'm making this up, like you and your coworker or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Putting yourself in the situation are up for like the same position, or let's just say, like, I don't know, like there's like, I'm making this up, like a teacher award. It's this big thing. I'm making this
Who's
up.
the real spirit queen, me or Jackie?
Yes.
Me.
But let's say Jackie won.
No, right.
And it really bothered you because
yeah.
it really meant a lot to you if you had won. I'm making this up, right? And I'm thinking my experience would be like a radio thing. If
Right.
someone has like gets a really cool opportunity and I'm like, your first thought is, well, my first thought, and I hope we all feel the same, but it's like, okay, I'm happy. My coworker, my whoever, my friend got this opportunity, got this, recognition. But then my second thought is like, damn, why couldn't it be me? So like it's that, and I would love to talk about it one day in a future episode. We'll have to write this down, but like kind of like, can you genuinely be happy for someone if that's also what you wanted? You get what I'm saying?
That's a really good point.
So like I talked about that before. I thought it was such an interesting conversation because I don't think that's hating. I don't. I think that's just
Human.
it's human nature. You're just recognizing like that feeling. You're sitting with it. You're like, okay, like I'm so happy for my friend Bob, but
I'm happy for Bob, but I'm sad for me.
Right, but fucking Bob, I'm
Fucking
sad
Bob.
for me.
Bob, man.
Like, fuck Bob.
Right, fucking Bob always got to do
Fucking
this.
Bob.
Fucking Bob.
Fucking Bob.
And
man.
what's number 3 from the
What's
list?
Number 3 is, I was looking up the things. New friends that I made in my 30s with people who I didn't grow up with or spent a lot of time with can be just as supportive friends than people you've known for a lifetime.
Like that one quote.
Absolutely.
You know that quote that's like time means nothing.
Oh, yeah, for
Character
sure.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is also like a double-edged sword though, because like in my place, I've seen it where like people in your 30s, sometimes when you make friends, they use you or they're more manipulative towards you because of that certain point of time in their life. And so I feel like that's happened to us recently where like someone in a point of their life was in a position where they needed you.
Yeah.
And then once they didn't need you, they just kind of like stopped.
That happens too.
So like,
Yeah.
that's where I also think you have to kind of have a filter for that too.
For sure. No, 100%. I think I think anybody can make you feel that, whether you knew them since you were 2 days old or you met them 2 days ago,
Yeah.
But I do believe in that quote where it's like time really means nothing like character does. Like even though most of my friends are from like childhood, teenage years, I guess, I definitely feel like, okay, I know some good people that I met in my late 20s, 30s that are good people. You know what I mean? But that's not a bad one. That's good.
What do you
Number
think,
4.
Tati? Oh, number
No,
4?
I agree. Yeah.
We're sliding through.
Sliding
these.
through.
Yeah.
Making new friends and finding people who I can connect with all this at this time in my life didn't happen automatically. I had to set it as an intentional goal and make sure to work on it constantly. And I reapped. Oh my God, I'm going to reread this because I can't do this. But okay, again, 1, 2, 3.
Tired.
Making new friends and finding people who I can connect with at this time in my life didn't happen automatically. I had to set it as an intentional goal and make sure to work on it consciously. And I reaped the rewards of amazing new friendships with like-minded people.
Yes and no. I agree with that to a certain extent, but like I feel like it. I'm gonna use Jackie for an example. She started working at the school I started at she came to my job in 2019. And like I didn't get close to her till a year and a half later. Because when she first came in, I was like, oh, who's this loud? Like, she knows. I was kind of like, who is she? And now I love her. Like I didn't like force myself to make a friendship with her. It just naturally, copacetically, like it just happened. We started to get coffee together.
Yeah.
And then I realized she was funny and she was just lighthearted and I learned a lot from her. I think that's where it started. Like our friendship was based off of like just work relationship and like I admired her as a teacher and I got to know her more in that sense. And then through knowing her more as a teacher, I got to know her as a person and a friend. And like now she's one of my closest friends. I talk to her every day. I go to her for advice. Like she's amazing. And that's not something I like worked towards. I didn't make it like an effort to like, no, you're gonna make her your friend. Like, no, it just naturally happened. And she's somebody that I wholeheartedly like trust and love and like really appreciate in my life.
I love that.
But I didn't have to like make it a point to like force it.
See, how I read that, what we just heard, is kind of like watering your friendships. So like that's how I took that, where it's like, okay, like anything that's worth having is gonna require some work. And I think that also goes for friendships. Don't get me wrong. I think a lot of times, like, and they should be this way, especially at the age of 30, just because by 30, you're probably, and I'm speaking generally, you're probably more established in your career. You're probably a lot busier. You're probably doing other things, whether it's, you know, finishing up school like you, like, or pursuing school and getting your doctorate, which is fucking incredible, or you're just, you know, got a family, maybe you're having kids, maybe you're
Like
in
you?
a serious relationship. You know what I mean? You got a job, you got bills to pay. So like I obviously, like 31 is very different than 21 just based on that alone. Like level of like busyness and just like even level of freedom, right? When you're 21, the world is your motherfucking oyster. But like I also feel that and that's what I was going with that too. It's like I love when like you can just have friendships and like pick up every once in a while and it's like nothing's changed. It's like, hey girl, let's catch, you know what I mean? And there's no hard feelings, nothing bad. But I do feel like maybe that falls into this too, where it's like you gotta water that though. So like making that a priority. Like I try to like every couple of months get with the people that maybe I don't talk to every day or see as often.
Yeah.
I do think it takes more work in your 30s to do that.
Yeah. No,
Next.
I read it that you just have to work, like you said. Number 5. In your 20s, there's a lot of emphasis on how many friends you will have and having a group of friends. Whereas in your 30s, it's a lot more about quality of friendship and having a few reliable, close friends that will be here for you. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about it. I think
We
it's
did talk
focused
about
around
it.
like partying, to be honest.
100%.
Like who's a good time? That's it.
That's who I was going for. In
Yeah,
my 20s.
who's a good time?
I'm like, I want to hang out with so-and-so. They're partying. They're out. I want to do that. But now it's like, I don't do that. So do I hear from them? Not really.
Exactly.
And then the last one is communication with your friends is so important, even if it involves some confrontation or awkwardness.
Absolutely.
I fucking hate confrontation.
I'm the queen of confrontation.
You love it?
No, not confrontation. Hold on. That's not the right word. I'm just like, as your friend, I'm going to be very honest with you.
Very straight up.
If something doesn't sit well with me or you need to know your boundaries a little bit because you think you don't have any and you should.
Ma'am, yes.
But always from a place of love and respect.
No, yeah. I agree with that.
Okay, so those are the 6 questions.
I like 6 parts of friendships, right? 6 facts.
If you
Shocking
guys,
facts.
if you guys think there's anything
that we
was
missed.
not on the 6, that were not on the 6, comment them below. I would love to know what people have learned in their big age of 30
Same. I'm
that
very
can be
interested.
applied to friendships.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's dive into a couple rounds of.
Am I the pendeja?
Am I the
And
pendeja?
we have only one round because I think with this one it's going to be controversial.
It's going to be lengthy. Okay, so even from the get-go, I'll take yes or no. Which one do you want to take?
Oh, you tell us, Marco. Who should?
Yeah, who should be yes, who should be no?
Who should argue? Yes. Who should argue?
Who
no?
should? Okay, you should be no,
I'll be no.
and you should be yes.
So I am the pendeja.
In this scenario, I guess so.
In
yeah.
this scenario, I'm arguing yes, I'm the pendeja.
You're arguing that what you did was
Justified.
not justified.
Not justified. Not justified.
Not justified.
And I'm justifying it.
You're
You're
justifying.
justified. This sounds about.
I'm scared. Okay.
All right.
Me too.
I'm so scared.
Am I the pendeja for refusing to tell my husband the gender of our baby after he skipped going to the doctor appointment with me?
And I'm saying
You're justifying.
I'm
it.
justifying that what she did was
Well, I have to
right.
give you the story. So
Oh,
give me.
there's a whole
Oh,
story.
give me a story.
That's how this works.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
Go
a
ahead.
story.
Give the story.
There's got to be some context to it.
And I was like, what are you doing? Okay. My husband and I are expecting. This is our first baby and we're excited. Thing is, he barely attends any doctor appointments with me and his excuses aren't even valid. He's willing to miss the doctor appointments over soccer or drinks with friends. And his response is always, I'm not the one carrying the baby. Why do I have to go see the doctor with you?
Oh my God.
I have to justify this.
I know. Last week was my final straw. He was supposed to come with me for my baby's gender reveal, but he chose not to come with me last minute because he got invited with his friends out to fish and chips. It's obviously in England. I was pretty livid, but I didn't make a fuss about it, and I went with my mom instead. He texted me asking me to tell him the results, but I refused to tell him.
Good.
He kept spamming, calling me, but I hung up on him. He came home fuming, demanding I tell him the results, but I refused and bluntly told him since he refused to attend any of the appointments, he doesn't get any results until after the baby's born, and I'm willing to die on that hill. He went off calling me spiteful and immature for doing this and punishing him. He said he's the father and he has a right to know. He then called me dramatic since I wasn't alone and my mom was with him. He said he gets the results, period. He's been fuming about it and he's told his family about pressuring me, whatever. Am I the pendeja?
Am I the pendeja? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and start this. She is absolutely right for what she did. She is a queen. She's a dream, because that is the most fucked up thing I've ever heard. I could only, and maybe this is something that my opponent here will get into, but my opponent, I'm a believer of like, I would never make someone like miss out on a bag, and this could be a little what's the fucking word I'm looking for today? Not controversial. This could be like, you know that word where everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna come for you, like whatever this might come off as. I feel like I will never let anybody like say no to a bag. Now that's up to you to like say if you're gonna go get that bag or not. But if my husband was like, there's this like fucking $1 million meeting, I'm making this up.
$1 million.
Right, $1 million meeting, then I might be like, go get that $1 million because I know that's going to benefit me and the baby. But like, you're going to literally go to play soccer or whatever, or fucking eat fish and chips or whatever the fuck that is. Like, you're going to go do that over your doctor's appointment. And I'm not saying this is the most important one because they're all important, but like the one where we're going to find out the gender of our baby and like your fucking friends, like I think you just want to go bang your friends at that point. Like, that's where my mind goes. I'm like, this sounds so wild to me. Like, your friends? Like, it's not even like you're not helping like your sick nana. You're not going, like I said, to get a bag. You're going to hang out with your fucking friends? I'm sorry. I'm like livid. I'm done.
Opponent?
Hold on, let me get into character. Just pretending. Okay. So I feel like although he missed the appointments, he has the right to know the gender of his baby because it took two to create the baby. And also, he needs to get all his energy out with his friends now because when the baby's here, that shit ain't happening. And you're going to know whether it's a boy or a girl because you're going to help me paint and decide what my theme is for the baby room, for the baby shower. And you need to know the gender.
If he even shows up to the baby shower.
because I'm going to raise all hell and make you livid and scared and terrified of me moving forward. So you are going to know the gender of the baby, but I'm going to put the fear of God in you so you don't miss it after. And I'm going to make you do all the work to give me the most lavish, over the top baby shower because now you know the gender. And I understand people want non-gender baby showers, but mine's going to be super fucking obvious if it's a boy or girl. And I'm going to make you pay for missing through making you do like physical things, and your friends are going to help plan it and pay for it too, since they're so important. And at the end of the day, I'm going to make your life hell, but I'm still going to let you know the gender of the baby. I'm just going to find other ways to make you like reap what you sow. And ultimately, it is an exciting moment, and there's nobody else in the world you really want to like share the excitement with than your partner, even if they're not there, but it's still going to be a special moment to tell them.
And scene. I'm dying.
That took a lot out of me.
I know. She can tell she doesn't believe anything she just said.
Trying to go there.
No, I love it. You're a good lawyer. You're a good fake lawyer.
There you go,
That's
see?
interesting. Yeah, clearly, I think we both secretly agree that that's fucked
Yeah,
up.
no, that's not cool.
That is so fucked
No.
up.
Like, even
Not
the man
cool.
in the room is like, bro,
That's so bad.
fucked up.
So
But yeah,
go play with your friends?
right, your fucking friends. That's what I'm saying.
They were in there putting in work to make this baby. They ain't paying the baby
Right.
bills.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're
I mean,
right.
like, I don't know how you don't want to know. Like, you don't want to go.
Right, that's
Right.
the biggest one. Like, how would you not care? Like, how would you not want to go to appointments to know, like, is your baby healthy? Is it this?
Right.
It should be a joint
That makes me
effort.
so sad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it generally does. Like for me, when I hear like shitty stories about like baby daddies, I just feel bad for the women. Cause like,
Yeah.
it's like, bro, that fucking sucks.
I do too. Like, exactly. It's not like my husband does anything when he's there because like there's nothing for him to do, but just having that want
Support,
and that support, but him wanting to
Yeah.
be there is like a whole nother level of support, you know, that
Yeah.
want. Like, I don't have to, and I'm sure some women probably have had to force their baby daddies to go, whether it's their husband, boyfriend, whatever, like to go. And it's like, I never do. Like we put it in the calendar, he's there. And I think I always tell him like, I love that about you because I don't want to take that for granted.
I think at this big age of 30,
Yes.
I am learning that when a man talks about like how he wants to be as a father and like, oh, I can't wait till I could brush my little girl's hair or do this and teach her this. Like, I think that's such a turn on.
Oh, wow.
Like hearing a man talk about how he wants to be a husband, he wants to be a father.
For sure.
Like for me at this big age of 30, like I love that.
No, for sure. I 100% agree with that. Well, thank you. We'll do more Am I the Pendeja stories because I think these are fucking amazing.
Yes.
They're good, and we love to hear it, see it. Follow us on social at Paulina Rowe.
At Talk with Tati.
And at Never Too Shy Pod on Instagram. Follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We are going full feral this year, 2024. We are going so in. We started this podcast in 2023. I think, I called you literally at this time last year.
Paulina called me New Year's Day.
I did.
Wow.
I did call you New Year's Day.
Like, hey, like
Come get canceled.
You're right.
I have this proposal. I have this.
Come get yelled
idea.
at by a bunch of people
Yes.
on the internet.
And then we made it happen. And I'm so happy we
Episode
did.
1 came and I was like, shit.
Boy. The first rounds were rough. Whatever we tried to do at my house, it was rough. But we figured it out. We are all good. So thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.